In about 2 months, my pretty well-known video, A Glimpse of My Future, will be a year old, and I thought now was as good a time as any to update that video and let you guys know what's going on in my life now, because honestly, this video is going to be a lot more interesting than that last video, because I actually have stuff going on now, like stuff that is actually worth talking about, and it's absolutely crazy to say that, but I really do, and I want you guys to hear it. So if you're down to listen, stick around, because I got some stuff to say. First off, I just want to say that I am in such a different place than I was last year. Like, yeah, I still got some stuff going on, like some pretty negative stuff going on, but compared to last year, I am at my happiest place yet. Like, the new Billie Eilish album, I am happier than ever, and it is actually freaking crazy to say that. Where do I even begin? Like, I have so much to be thankful for right now, and I don't mean to brag, but like, it's just crazy because growing up, I was never really a happy person. I was more of like a miserable, sad, depressed. You get the picture, but looking back on all that now, it's just crazy to think about that, because yeah, I am still depressed, but I actually have stuff to be thankful for now, and maybe that will eventually get me out of my depression, because it is an understatement to say that I have things to be thankful for, because I have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm going to talk about that right now. First off, I released a freaking album. It is absolutely crazy to think about the fact that I just released my first album on June 25th, actually, Dark Well Into My Imagination. If you haven't listened to it yet, you definitely should. The link will be in my bio for the YouTube one and for the SoundCloud one, but oh my god, guys, it's so surreal to me that I released an album, because, like, okay, just bear with me here for a second. This might be a little messy, but just bear with me. When I released my first song, Corpse Bride, back in Christmas of 2019, I honestly never thought that I was going to release another song after that. I thought I was just going to be that guy that releases... I thought I was just going to be that one-hit wonder, that releases a one-hit wonder, and then just stop doing music forever. Kind of like Lil Xan. He was a one-hit wonder, except his one-hit wonder wasn't that good. Neither was mine, but it's crazy to say that I'm not a one-hit wonder anymore. I released a song after Corpse Bride about a year later. It was called The North Side, and that single was okay. It was definitely a lot better than Corpse Bride, but I still feel like I needed to find my voice, you know, find my cadence, and ultimately just improve upon my music. And I feel like with this album, I did exactly that, because I finally get to say the things that I've been wanting to say for so long, but I've been too scared to say them. But now that the album's out, what do I really have to be scared of? You guys literally took the dark well into my imagination when listening to this album, and that's why it's called that. And it's crazy to think about. Like, I didn't think this album was going to be that good when I first released it, but dude, this album is sick. This album is sick. And I cannot stress it enough. If you have not listened to the album yet, you guys need to go listen to it, because it is so good. And I have some people I need to thank for this album being released, so let's get into that. First off, I want to give a huge, absolute thank you to Nate the Space God for motivating me to release this album, for motivating me to get out of my writer's block and make more songs, and just being there for recording this album and helping me write songs and being patient with me. Nate, if you're watching this, which I really hope you are, this album would not be out if it wasn't for you. This album wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for you. And I don't know what else to say other than thank you. Like, this album would not be out if it wasn't for you, and I wouldn't have had the motivation or the courage to release it, or write anything, or take my music seriously if it wasn't for you. So, thank you. And I really hope that you're just as grateful for this album as I am, because it is unexplainable how grateful I am for this album. Thank you. Thank you. And, like, working on this album made me realize just how difficult it is being a musician, because, like, there's so much work that goes into it. Like, just writing and recording the songs it's basically the icing on the cake, if that makes sense. Did I use that correctly? Probably not. It's basically half the battle, because there's so much more that has to go into it. You have to think of melodies, you have to stay on key, you have to stay on beat, you gotta make sure you don't lose your breath, because if you lose your breath, you'll mess up. And I lost my breath many times while recording this album, because I don't practice singing as much as I should. But recording this album really showed me the hardships of being a musician, and I am so grateful for that, because I feel like now that I've gotten to the hardships of being a musician, I know what to do for my next project, and I'm so excited to record my next project, because the love and support on this album has been absolutely unreal. Like, I didn't think anybody was going to listen to this album, but so many people like it, and it's absolutely crazy to me. And I didn't think that anybody was really that excited for me to release a full project, but not to brag, but a lot of people were, and it's crazy. And I'm so happy with this album. I love this album with all of my heart. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear my next project, because if you think I went off on this project, just wait till you hear my next one. My next one is going to be insane. Absolutely insane. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been posting that much, is because I've been working on the album. I've been putting I put so much hard work and effort into this album, and Nate did too, so I feel like he deserves more credit than I do, but me and him put a lot of work into making this album, and it definitely pulled off. So that's one of the reasons I haven't been posting that much, and I'm really sorry about that, but was it worth it? Yes, it indeed was, and I hope you guys think it was worth it too, if you listen to this album. And if you haven't, I cannot stress it enough. Please go listen to it, and I am 95% sure you will love it just as much as I do. Maybe even more? Who knows? Next up on the list, I have a freaking job now. That is absolutely crazy, because I've been trying for months to get a job, but I was never able to get one because, well, first off, I didn't have a photo ID, but now I finally have a photo ID, so I actually have proof of my, you know, personhood, I guess that's the word, I don't know, but I actually have proof that I'm, you know, legally allowed to work in the US now, and nobody would hire me because I didn't have a photo ID, I didn't have any proof of residence, proof of identification, any of that stuff, but now I do, and I am finally hired. I'm not going to say where I work, obviously, because I don't want people coming to find me, but yeah, I have a job now. I start that next week, and I cannot freaking wait. It is going to be awesome. I finally get to start making money, and it is absolutely awesome. Wow. It's also crazy to say that I have a job. Like, I know it's not that big of a deal, but to me it is, because like I said, I've been trying for months to get a job and I just couldn't get one. But I finally have one now, and it's really crazy. It really is. And I think this job is going to be great. I think it's going to give me experience, and it's going to help me get into bigger and better jobs, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Third of all, speaking of photo ID, I finally have my freaking driver's permit. Let's go. I can drive with a parent or a person 21 or older, but I can finally drive, and that's crazy to think about too, because I couldn't get my license when I was 16 because I didn't have a birth certificate, so I didn't have any proof of, you know, identification, but I finally got some. I took my test, I passed, barely, but I still passed, and I got my driver's permit, and I'm one step closer to getting my license, and it's so crazy to think about, because I've been wanting to drive for so long, and I finally had the chance to now. And it's insane, and I can't wait to get my license, and I can finally, you know, go about the world. By the world, I mean New York, but, because, you know, that's kind of the only place I can go right now, but it's still crazy, because I'm going to be able to do things, I'm going to be able to get other jobs, and I'm going to be able to go places and see my friends, and I'm excited. As far as college goes, I'm not going to really probably go to college, because making music is my lifetime goal, my lifetime dream. And I don't really need to go to college to do that. All I need to do is just get in front of the microphone, record, mix, maybe produce. I plan to produce my own stuff soon. Write and record and release, and that's really all I need to do. And I'm so excited and like honored for music to be my lifetime goal, because there's nothing I ever wanted to do more than make music and change the world with my music. And now that the album's out, I finally feel like I'm one step closer to doing that. And guys, I'm so grateful for everything right now. Like, really, I am. So yeah, that's kind of really why I haven't been uploading as much lately, and I'm really sorry about that. But once the hype for the album dies down, I'm going to be back to uploading reviews. I got a lot of stuff I want to review, actually. I have stuff lined up to review, and it's going to be awesome. But until then, enjoy this video, because I know a lot of you have probably been curious as to what's been going on in my life and why I haven't been uploading, and I hope this answers your question. So I'm really sorry, but I promise I will get back to uploading very soon. Don't you miss it. Anyways, guys, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me talk, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like it if you did, subscribe, go listen to the album. The links will be in the description down below. And I say this in every outro, but I'm going to say it again because it's kind of my thing. Until the next video, my name is Zero, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. I almost didn't say it. Peace.